Hey bass family, welcome back to Sounds Like Ben. Been a while and I hope that you are all well and good. We have something pretty cool and special here. This is not yet released, but it's coming out really soon. We're here with a new short scale bass. This is the Acinonyx or Acinonyx bass, depending on what side of the pond you're on. These are from Nordstrand Audio and they are designed after the Goya Panther, which was a cool bass made in the 60s and 70s in Italy. They are highly sought after vintage basses. That said, they do have a few quirks. This kind of brings them up to some modern specs. These basses are made in Indonesia and then shipped over to the USA, where they are set up in the Nordstrand Audio shop in Redlands, California. So Acinonyx is Latin for the genus containing the cheetah family. So you have the Goya Panther. This is the cheetah. Very fast. Also on the website it describes it as being fast like a race car. I buy that. Yeah. With the small neck and the thin spacing, it does actually feel quite fast. I stumbled across this bass at the NAMM show back when people used to be able to get together in large groups, actually at the Bass Bash. It was cool, it was fun. We should do that again sometime. And I was really just kind of like blown away by the uniqueness of the design. It doesn't look like a lot of other basses out there, even though it is modeled after an existing bass. Full disclosure, this bass was sent to me for a review. I've got it for a few weeks and then I have to pass it on to the next person. Now, so I did not buy this bass. Would I buy this bass? Different question. In Lake Placid blue? Heck yeah. So let's get into the design that we have here. So you're going to notice the headstock shape right off the bat. This is modeled after the Panther bass, but what's really unique here is this 1+3 design with the tuners. I don't think I've actually ever seen an instrument that had just the E tuner on one side and the other 3 tuners on the other. That said, it works for this bass. You can see how each string comes straight across the nut. I think that's a worthwhile improvement. Also, these tuners, which are lollipop-shaped tuners that are hip-shot ultralights, is also something that I believe is unique to this instrument. I haven't seen before. All right, this is on a flat sawn maple neck. Right, we have a 21 fret, 30.7-inch scale rosewood fingerboard. That's Indian rosewood with the offset inlays. Down here you have a spoke wheel truss rod, which is also a pretty cool feature to see in a bass at this price point. The nut width is 1.4 inches and the string spacing at the bridge is 17 millimeters. That is a little narrow, so certainly narrower than a like Fender Jazz bass if you're coming from that with full like 19 millimeter or 20 millimeter spacing. That said, it's not out of bounds of what's normal if you think about short scale basses and the history of something like you know, the Hofner violin bass or something like that. Personally, I dig it. Looking at the quality of construction, if we talk about the fretwork, this is just super clean. You know, no rough fret ends. All right, on the back you have a 3-bolt neck joint, asymmetrical design attached to the alder body. Nice kind of rounded block here. Again, on a short scale, it's no issue getting up here to the top high notes. You have a tort pickguard. I'm going to get a close-up in here on that tort because that is super rad color. All right, let's get into the electronics. You have your volume knob, right? Your jack here, and 2 Nordstrand Audio custom pickups, single coils. But wait, where's the tone knob? Where's the pickup selector? Oh, I see. There are these buttons up here. All right, cool. We're gonna get into what all of these are. This is pretty sweet. Roughly, this section here is pickup selectors, and this section here are your tone knobs. You have 4 studio grade switches. This is both pickups, front pickup, rear pickup, no pickups, this is a mute. If you have all 4 in, it's both pickups, but in series mode, which is a really cool sound we'll get into. All right, let's get back to both pickups. Now, here on the tone, you have flat, no tone. Second knob or second button is a treble roll-off. Third button is more of a treble roll-off. And then the last button that you have here is a scoop.
Click, it's a niblick. Click, click, it's a mashy niblick. Click, 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 it's a mid-mashy. Click, 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 click.
So both pickups on with a heavy treble roll-off is really great for like stuff like that, kind of one finger muted funk. Another setting I love is the front pickup set on flat. You can hear a lot of the character of the bass. That's pretty cool. Now for a slap tone, I would do both pickups, put the scooped the notched mid or scooped sound. That's a good basic starting point for slap, and you know. Slapping. So the front pickup with the mid scoop I like for a pick sound. Here it is on the rear pickup. All right, let's see. In series mode, so series mode is going to select both pickups with the heavy treble roll-off. It's great for that kind of low end. Nice, kind of huge bottom on that. All right, so moderate treble roll off on the rear pickup. So the rear pickup, this is with a little bit of treble roll off. One thing to note is that the rear pickup doesn't get super thin like some rear pickups because it's, I think in relation to the overall scale length, it's not quite as far back as some pickups to be on that node that gets a lot of burp in it. Sometimes the rear pickup on its own, on a bass, if the rear pickup is set too far back, the sound can get a little bit thin. I think given that this is a pickup selector as opposed to two volume knobs or something like that, I think they made a pretty good choice to keep that rear pickup more broadly usable. So So one of the things about the narrower string spacing is that string crossing, especially kind of vertical string crossing, is relatively easy on this bass. You know, the fourths, this. That kind of thing is sometimes difficult when you've got more stretch. So in other short scale videos I've done, I've had questions about how a drop D would sound. Let's check it out. Put it on both pickups and flat. Let's try drop C. Now you're really starting to, you're really kind of starting to lose it there. So, drop D. Drop D, sure. I can see that. So what complaints would I have about this bass, if any, or who might not like the bass? All right, as far as construction, there's, you know, really no issues that I found. Only, you know, smallest little thing is sometimes it sounds like there might be a wire underneath the pickguard that is vibrating against the pickguard. It doesn't come through in recording, but I can hear it sometimes if I'm playing the bass unplugged. I'd go in there and just kind of tape that wire down and it would be fine. That's about it. That's really kind of splitting hairs in that in there. There's something so easily fixable, and the you know, relative to the quality of, you know, I look a lot at the quality of the fretwork, and that's very impressive to me. I like the small frets. That's super cool. The construction overall, I'd give it 5 stars on that, or something like that. Who might not enjoy this bass? If you're really set on wider spacing, you know, this neck is on the thinner end of things. Also, if you're really looking to like nail that kind of Jaco sound, I don't think that this is the bass to get. That said, there are like a million jazz basses out there. You know, not everything has to be a P bass or a jazz bass. The level of fit and finish you get, especially looking at this fretwork and the features like the spoke wheel truss rod and the compound radius fingerboard, for what is, you know, in the grand scheme of things, not that much money for a bass. This is a pretty sweet deal. The other thing is, you know, it's a production instrument that you're just not gonna see everywhere. At launch, these basses are available in 4 colors. You have black, surf green, vintage white, and my personal favorite, which is the Lake Placid blue. These basses are available for pre-order. Got a link in the description below. They're coming in June. These street for $799. The early orders coming in get a free Nordy mute, which is like a bridge mute system. And for an additional fee, you can get a soft case with them. So if you're looking for something unique, check it out. If you like this video, and especially if you're interested in more short scale content, don't forget to click like and gently touch subscribe. We've got a bunch more coming this way. All right, thanks for watching, and take it easy.